Hello everyone, I hope you're doing beautifully well. For today's valued viewer request, we've got from Chrono5. Oh, I know Chrono. He's messaged me in Discord. So this is fresh, newly released material on the 28th of August. It's now the 1st of September. I gave it a few days. Eastern Mediterranean dogfight between Turkish and Greeks. When it says dogfight, we don't mean shooting each other down with missiles. It's just literally the interaction between two planes. For the first time, Turkish Defense Ministry released such a video. So that's, I think, maybe the interesting bit. I guess Turkish Defense Ministry has not been releasing videos. And this came from two guys, Chrono and another guy. And sorry, I didn't get the other guy's name, but let's go and have a look. Off we go. This is from the site Harbour Global. Thank you very much. Go.
One.
We'll watch it through and then we'll talk about it. So it's not in English. You know how you can tell it's real? Because the comms are inaudible. Hey plebs.
Altitude. Altitude.
Arkadakine full İngilizsin, defansif değil mi?
Bingo.
Gazi Hançer 67 VID sonucu 2 uzun 2 kısa droplu F-16 mutabık blok 52 plus görünüyor.
52 plus alanda takibe devam ediyoruz.
67.
Bring the valued viewers in. Rough translation of the video description. The MSB, so this is the Turkish guys. So this is shot from the Turkish HUD, and that there is the Greek F-16, and it's got the conformal tanks by the looks of things. The MSB announced that it was blocking the Greek F-16s approaching the Turkish ships in the Eastern Mediterranean and the Turkish F-16s. This is a direct translation, so it's a bit... The speech of the Turkish F-16 pilot drew attention. So we, us, the Turkish F-16s, are blocking these guys doing whatever they're doing over the Turkish ship in the Eastern Mediterranean. And this is all to do with this Roboto website here that you can look at, plans to drill for oil near the Greek islands. We've got this information as well for situational awareness. Greece there, Turkey, kind of massive place there. Cyprus there, Egypt there, Libya there, Lebanon, Israel, Syria. Look at me learning the area. That there, I've forgotten what that is. It's part of Greece, question mark. We've got overlapping claims, which must be the difficult area. So these are the overlapping claims, okay, for drilling or whatever that we're talking about here. So Turkey, Greece is this area here. This is where we're overlapping. And why does Greece have claims over here? Interesting. Greece and Egypt have mutual claim there. Turkey, Libya have mutual claims there. God, this part of the world's complex. Turkey, Cyprus have overlapping claims there. Cyprus, North Cyprus. Where's self-declared Turkish Republic of Northern Cyprus? I didn't even know that existed, right? How interesting. Wow, that must be awkward. Cyprus, North Cyprus there. Basically, that is a lot of complex stuff, and our dogfight, must be presumably somewhere in the Turkey-Greece overlap area. Mover did a walkthrough of this video yesterday. Cool. I haven't watched it. I never get time, but I'm sure he knows exactly what he's doing. It's block 52 plus. Thank you, Viper. I just realised we didn't go to the end.
Understood. Liderleri manevra.
So we've talked about why we're here and what's going on. Next, let's talk about how the video is put together. Well, you can see the altitude jumping around every kind of 30 seconds. So it appears to be probably a big long dogfight. And to make the video short, they just cut the cool bits in. So every few thousand feet when the guy was visible in the HUD, because most of the time I imagine that hostile is going to be off-bore outside of the HUD and you can't see anything. Whenever it's in the HUD, then they put that bit of video in, and then you can see it cut 5,000 feet lower. And naturally, almost every dogfight, if it's a real dogfight, they really are chasing each other, then it's going to get lower and lower and lower until they're on the ground. And then I think it cuts back up to 27,000 again, probably on a new engagement, maybe even a different plane, I'm not sure. But it's interesting it's been released. So just for fun, let's just refresh ourselves about Symbology. I haven't studied the F-16 for a year now, or I think 10, 11 months since it came out, so let's just kind of have a look at everything. So we're in dogfight mode, but interestingly it doesn't say dogfight mode, instead it says sim. So this is simulation mode. So if you're, for instance, going to have an agreed dogfight with a friend, you'd go into simulation mode to make sure that you can't accidentally shoot them down. And it looks like the rules of engagement here, even though he is kind of a real hostile, they're not at war, but just in case, just to make sure that they can't shoot each other down, he's going to put it in simulation mode. We've got our, I just cut there, we've got our speed there in calibrated knots. We've got our G there, 2.8 G, and it'd be interesting to see how we peak. A lot of dogfights we see are very low G, whereas in dogfights we do simulated in DTS are often very high G. I always wonder why that is. Is it because they're not trying very hard on purpose? They're trying to keep comfortable. They're trying not to stress their airframes. I'd love to know some input on really how serious these dogfights are. Obviously, they're not shooting each other down. We understand that. They're not trying to kill each other. And in fact, why are we doing these dogfights? I mean, there's an intercept. An intercept has happened. And then they go on this kind of ballet of a kind of fake dogfight. They're doing it to... not fake, but you know what I'm saying, they're not shooting each other. They're doing it to train, good experience, because that would make sense. I mean, you can't get a better enemy than the real enemy, right? Anyway, so I'd love your input on why they do this ballet rather than just, chilling. They always start very high. It's very efficient, obviously, to drive these planes around above 30,000 feet. So it's not abnormal at all to see them up here at 30,000 plus feet when the engagement is going to happen. Feel free to butt in whenever you want. By the way, I'll see. I don't want to get told off for blocking you, cock blocking you. Sim mode, we've talked about 296048. Oh, God, I can't remember RC. Can you remember?
Could be the bullseye info. I forget.
But yeah, I forget. I haven't studied it in a while, but okay. Does anyone know what mark this F-16 is, by the way? We've got the block 50 in DCS. Bottom left, H011 V16. Not the foggiest. Never seen that before. Anything on that, RC?
No.
Down to the bottom right, F is the range. Now, F means it's
F is
fire control.
Fire control.
Roger. So it's saying the range in this case is being calculated by a fire, just means our radar. So from us to him, our range is that. Now it's usually miles until you get within a mile, I think. And then it goes down to, again, I've forgotten exactly, like 340 meters or 340 feet. That means I've forgotten exactly what it is. That number, the number below. Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, those numbers on the left under sim, that's the bearing and distance to bullseye.
Thank you. Right. So it's good. So it's, although we no longer have our waypoint information in dogfight or simulation dogfight mode, we still know where the balls is. So you can say, oh, the dogfight's here. 296 from balls for 48 miles, or however they're going to use that exactly. Can anyone remember what the number below the range is? I keep forgetting. I'm not going to go sit and watch LeBoyd's video because, we want to work it out for ourselves. That's what we do. I can't remember what that number below that is.
I don't know if we have that number in our...
I did look it up the other day, but I've forgotten. We've got our DLZ, a dynamic launch zone, which is showing his closure rate of 230 knots combined closure. We are within our maximum firing range for whatever we've got. Now, I wonder what weapon we've actually got selected. It would usually say down here, and I wonder if this is weapon information. I'm not sure. We usually have weapon information here. Or in sim, if it doesn't tell us our weapon information. That would be interesting. Where else are we? I'm at 28,000 MSL. What else have we got here? This guy at the top. Have you seen this guy at the top here? This is in the other sim. What's the other sim called?
BMS.
BMS. It's got AA07R. We don't have this in DCS yet, and so I don't know what it is. I'm going to make a guess. Air to air, 7 degrees to the right of whatever you're talking about, the ball sight cross or whatever. But we'll see when we get that. What else have we got that I've missed? So here's an interesting question I've got for you. We've got a level 5 gun sight. We all know level 5 gun sight in this. So to aim the gun, we've got not just inertial assistance, but also we've got active radar assistance. You have an inertial funnel like this, which is what you would typically use if you've got no active radar lock, but you've also got radar guidance. So why, my question to you, RC, is a level 5 gun sight. Doesn't it get rid of the funnel? Because you don't need the funnel anymore. Because you've got the level 5. You've got the radar aimed part, which is that circle there mainly, and that reticle there.
No idea.
Because most planes you see get rid of the inertial stuff when you've got a radar lock. I just found, if anyone knows what that is, going to go over to Turkish military defense, release footage showing Turkish agreed F-16 fighter jets engaging each other in a mock dogfight over the Mediterranean recently. Turkish Air Force's radar systems detected 6 jets taking off from Greek Crete Island, southern Cyprus. The ministry said in a statement, Turkish F-16 fighter jets responded to intercepting the jet. So it was the Turks that intercepted after they discovered they were from Greece. The Greek Defense Ministry said the jets, also F-16s, called for backup at 11:30 a.m. and proceeded to immediate recognition and interception of Turkish aircraft. Video footage posted by the Turkish Air Force Ministry on Friday purportedly showed Turkish Air Force planes preventing the Greek aircraft from entering the area where Turkey was operating. The F-16s had departed from the island of Crete and were headed towards southern Cyprus, a statement said. Okay, so just go over the gun sight a bit more. Essentially, level 5, so we've got inertial and active radar, and we will maneuver so that this radar-guided Pipper here is on top of him here. Pull the trigger, the guy dies. We also see the current vector of the hostile in the designator here. We can see it's currently heading that way there. The plus and minus, I've forgotten what they mean, and I don't want to go into too deep, but can you remember what the plus and minus mean?
No.
And that's all I can think of. Right, so gone off some basic symbology there. Some I can remember, some I can't. Let's go and have a look a bit about fight. Start at the beginning. So starting at 32,000, 1.5 miles away. Got our and a sidewinder lock. Sorry, I missed that. The diamond. When you say diamond, that's the seeker of the currently selected sidewinder. Is where it's looking. So it's currently slaved to our radar lock, which is this circle here. Oh, I forgot about the gun range. The gun range is how this circle ticks down. So if the circle was complete, he would be at the, if you like, the maximum gun range or out of the maximum gun range. As it ticks down here, we can see the range decreasing to a set amount, and I can't remember what that set amount is. And yeah, we've got the sidewinder, so we can hear the sidewinder buzz as well. So we're 300 CAS, 2.8 G. Sidewinder's still got the lock, you can see there. So he's not running out a gun solution, he's just keeping his sidewinder locked on and essentially staying behind him in a lag pursuit or whatever. Still, everything's very low G. You can hear him kind of Darth Vadering, but everything's like 2-3 G max. So it's quite a bit of a nerdy fight, isn't it? I think. When you see this number go to negative here, it means the hostile's getting away. He's pulling away by that many knots. You see we're much closer at this point. And you can see he's heading that direction there. And we can see where we are compared with Bulls here. So we've moved like 14 miles or whatever from where we were. So this fight's going on for ages. Assume it's the same fight, right? Still only 2G. I wonder why that's so low. Maybe it's a function of the speed. He's very slow. 12,000. Sorry to keep. I think the plus and minus, that's relative to how fast this guy here is moving. I think it's something to do with how many G's he's pulling or something like that. The further away the plus and the minus are, the more kind of lead we need to give. That kind of makes sense. 1.5 G, so we're not pulling at all now. And we're closing. We can tell where the terrain is because this guy here, obviously. So terrain's this way, sky. And zap! That could have been a gun skill. Or obviously he would have a Hob missile anyway, high off bore sight missile, so we could fire that missile anytime he wanted. Although we'd probably be a bit close, at 120 meters/feet, whatever that is.
Altitude.
Bring value viewers in. Turk Vipers, block 30, 40, 50, thank you. So it is basically what we,
Bingo.
He's out of gas. Do you see he's out of gas, RC? Bingo fuel. So he's done the dogfight all the way down from 32,000 to 7,000. Does anyone know if the Turks have the conformal fuel tanks? Or if they're dogfight? Are we dogfighting with fuel tanks on? I'd love to know that. Still, we're only 3.1 G. It's such a nerdy dogfight, this is. But these planes will fly at 9 G. I think you can even go slightly higher. I think real dogfights, RC. We have our game, our game simulator. It doesn't matter if we die. It doesn't even matter if we come home or not. So we just go and burn around on afterburner in our dogfights and pull the maximum G to make sure we get the best dogfight. But these guys have to worry about getting home. They can't go in burner and just spin around for ages, can they? Isn't that interesting? that we just don't ever think about. Whenever we have real pilots on, one of the main things they talk about in the missions they do, is fuel planning, fuel consumption, stuff like that. We never even think about it. We just kind of think, have we got roughly enough fuel to do this mission? Yeah, that'll do. Go in, get the burners on, and have a big dogfight. These guys are like, okay, if I burn too much fuel, I'm going to go in the sea and probably die. It's an interesting consideration that we don't have. I'll see, I stopped it there as well. There's a bunch of crosses on the screen. Does anyone know what these crosses are? And if we know what these crosses are, does anyone know what Lemoyne said? If we know what they are we getting them? They're not waypoints, are they? I wonder what they are.
I wonder if they're... I don't know.
For the latest news, Greek is about to sign a new deal with France for 18 Rafales. I'm going to get in trouble if I say it wrong. Coupled with F-16 Block 52 being upgraded to V5, it would give great superiority over the Aegean. This is Greece. They've already got Block 52, haven't they, guys? I thought they had. And our Rafales are really better than F-16s. I'm not saying they're not. I just don't know. Roger, Mitch. But at the end of the day, if you hit bingo, you've got to go back, right? You've got to stop. You've got to stop fighting. So it's probably. I reckon this is a ballet of saving fuel and chasing the other and posturing the other guy. 2.5 G. So I was saying earlier on why we're not pulling G. I reckon we're doing this on mil power, slow, and I reckon both planes are doing it. Be interesting what you guys think.
Let's see, I may know what those X's are.
No DTS. Have you ever seen that before? DTS. Data. Wasn't that data cartridge? I wonder what that means. Also, at the bottom left, H and V must be horizontal and vertical. I wonder. The valued viewers will know what it is. We've sped up. We've got... oh, no, we've started a new fight. Oh, we've started a new fight. Our speed's up. We're chasing this guy, I think. Yep, we're chasing him. He's cold. Let's see where this one goes.
Gazi Hançer 6-7 VID sonucu.
So it's chasing him as fast as 400 knots. Might even be burner on, I don't know. I'd love to know what DTS is.
2 kısa. Droplu. F-16.
7 miles ahead. 4 miles ahead. Oh no, sorry, it's not 4 miles. It's like 40 meters or something, or 400 feet, whatever that means.
Digital terrain system.
Digital terrain system. I wonder why we've got no digital terrain system, but alright.
2 plus görünüyor.
This guy's just flying in formation. He's not fighting.
6-7.
Okay, interesting, really interesting. So very different from what we do. It's very conservative, very slow, probably not on burner. I don't know, but probably not on burner. I didn't see any burners. So it's kind of a ballet. It seems to me like a posturing ballet of get out of here, I'm here, and I can shoot you down whenever I want kind of thing. Does that kind of make sense to you?
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're never really going to fire each other. So I think it's really interesting and kind of innocent to watch as well, because no one's ever going to die. Well, it's unlikely. That's that. Stream, anything you want to add to that? Oh, remember the 6 aircraft, so there's probably multiple engagements here.
Yeah, I don't know if those X's on the on the screen were superimposed radar contacts.
Wouldn't that be interesting?
I can't find any information on it.
Enhanced safety combat operation, providing the pilot with predictive ground collision avoidance information through the visual and oral commands. Thanks, Ivan. Yeah, I'd love to know what those crosses are. You guys know a lot more about this plane than me. I'm just, doing what you asked. Yep, you guys go and watch Lemoyne. He's going to know a lot more about this than me, but I don't like watching other people because I don't like copying them. I like to work it out myself, even if I have to get it wrong. I want to do it my way. It's just how I am. I think that'll do for now, guys. Hope you enjoyed that and see you later.